Hello everybody, Logic for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new discussion video this time around. Holy crap, it's been a year since Links came out, so it feels like it hasn't been that long, but it really has. It's been just about a year. It'll probably be a little bit over this, over a year since when this video goes out, but it's been about over a year. So that Links have been out, and I wanted to kind of do my thoughts and opinions on it. A lot of, I know everybody's going to be like, oh, not you too. Everybody's doing it. But as a lot of you guys know, I hated the idea of Links coming out. I darn near quit the game because of it. A lot of my favorite decks were rendered unplayable and are still unplayable. Dynamis, basically unplayable. I know there's going to be some people like, no, they're not. There's no. The Dynamis required having a full back row, and now they can't have it. They're dead. Let's see here. What else is dead? Oh yeah, my Blue Eyes Galaxy deck, that's dead. Can't spam out as many Xyz and Synchros as I want anymore. Now I gotta make a Link monster first, and then somehow magically have the materials to make a Synchro or Xyz after that. Kinda hard to do that in Blue Eyes. I could go on and on about all my favorite decks that are dead, and will probably never see the light of day again until Konami gives them a Link monster, or says, screw it, goodbye that particular role of Master Role 4. But, yeah. So, Links have completely changed the game. If you look at all the top decks, after Zodiac died, every single top deck is nothing but Links in the extract. It's Link, 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 Link. And I'm feeling really mixed, okay? On one hand, Links have done a lot for certain decks, okay? Noble Knight's got an incredibly powerful Link monster that is being abused in literally every warrior deck except for Noble Knights, hilariously enough. Then you got other decks that are getting powerful Link monsters. The Nordics are supposed to get a Link monster that is supposed to apparently be super powerful, according to Konami. I mean, then again, we're talking about the same company that said Sea Monster Theseus is going to be the best card of last year, but I digress. And so, a lot of Links have brought new life into a lot of the older archetypes and decks, and that's really cool. But at the same time, a lot of those decks didn't need new life brought into them because they already were just fine before Master Role 4 said, nah, screw you, you can't make your plays anymore as easily as you could. Now, on one hand, yes, Xyz spamming, Synchro spamming, all that stuff, it was getting a bit ridiculous, but at least we had a pretty diverse format, you know, on a consistent basis. Arc V's format, you know, throughout the entirety of Arc V. You know, yes, people want to dwell on, oh, Pepe, yes, they want to dwell on the freaking Zodiac format, but at the same time, people forget that we had pretty darn open and varied formats quite a few times throughout the majority of Arc V. You had fusion decks, synchro decks, you know, Shadal's, freaking being fusion focused, and you had Yang Zing, Tower Knights, BA, so on and so forth, and Monarchs, Tribute Summon focus, so many decks. It was so varied, there was something for everybody. Even rituals were good for a while thanks to Necros, and yet people wanted all that to go away, and now it did. Now it did. Every single deck that is remotely relevant is playing nothing but Links. If you look at all the top decks, it's all Links in their extract. And then, yes, you will get the occasional Synchro, like Ancient Fairy Dragon and Xyz here and there, but there's no Xyz-centric decks that are doing well. There's no Synchro-centric decks. Synchrons or any other Synchro-focused deck like Yang Zing or anything else has done well. No, they haven't. The only non-Link focused archetype that has done well after Links came out was, and I should clarify, extract-focused deck was Zodiac, and that's because Mrs. Radiant came out conveniently while Zodiac was still relevant and still had all their good cards. And now that that's gone, there's nothing really all that relevant. And yeah, I know people are hyping up that, like, oh, we're getting fusions in Soul Fusion and they're going to be really good, and you know, but there's only 2 fusions, and yeah, Cyber's Clock Dragon's really cool and all, but he's not that amazing. Yeah, he can dish out a lot of damage, but he's not the greatest thing in the world, and one fusion monster isn't going to make fusion suddenly relevant again. You know, same thing with just one ritual monster, one synchro monster. None of that's going to make anything relevant again. And that's my big issue. Links pushed out every other extra deck summoning mechanic, to the point where decks that could make use of the very good, very wide range rank 4 toolbox, all gone. You look at their deck, it's all link monsters. All the nightmares, the Boral loads, all that, they're just so much better. They're so much more generic. And that's my issue with links. Well, actually, I have a lot of issues with links. They're way too generic. They're way too easy to summon. And then they've completely pushed out all other summoning mechanics. Literally, they have, except for tribute summoning, but only because freaking True Draco is so good at it. And then you look at, like, it gets really grating, because I like the other summoning mechanics, but links are just so much better. Why even bother with them? And then the other decks that can do the other summoning mechanics, they devote so much resources to make a link first that they can't make anything else. Oh, you made your link? Okay, well, good luck making anything else substantial after that. You know? Like, heck, with Galaxies, Blue Eyes, all that, they have to play Photon Sanctuary first in order to get out a link, but before they can do anything. And then, heck, before you know it, Photon Sanctuary is going to get hit or something, because Konami's going to hit every single token card. At least that's what they would if, like, people wanted them to get away with it. And then you get some absurdly broken links. I used to think Firewall wasn't that broken, okay? You really did. And honestly, he wouldn't be that broken if he had a once per turn effect, if his effects were once per turn, but for some reason Konami didn't think that was a smart idea, because they wanted the poster child for link summoning to be broken, like the poster child for synchro summoning was at the time, and so on and so forth. But they overdid it. And Konami is not going to ban Firewall. He's the main character's ace. Now, granted, I haven't caught up with Frames, and apparently Yusaku does not use Firewall hardly at all. So maybe they're trying to phase out Firewall as his ace and going to introduce Cyber's Clock Dragon as his real ace. I don't know. Because Cyber's Clock Dragon, if my memory is correct, is the exact same stats as the standard ace boss monsters. Who knows? I just feel like people got way too angry at pendulums and wanted Konami to do something to change it. And so Konami listened and brought in links, and now the game is worse off than it was before. That's my opinion, granted. And, you know, these are discussion videos. I want to hear what your guys' thoughts and opinions. Maybe you'll change my mind, maybe I'll change yours and stuff. But, it's just getting really grating. Now, granted, some of my favorite archetypes of recent times has been link-focused archetypes. I love Rockets. Trickstars, I love them. Gokis, I liked them before they became good, and now it's just like, I hate dueling against this deck. You know, so on and so forth. And there's a lot of really cool link-focused archetypes. But at the same time, I like still playing my old archetypes. I like still going back to Blue Eyes, to Dynamis, to DDD, to Raid Raptors, to so on and so forth. Yet none of these decks are even relevant as a viable rogue deck anymore. Or even as a fun casual deck, because they can't do as much as even the new casual decks, thanks to Link Summoning Master Rule 4. I'm hoping that once we get on to whatever's after Frames, Konami will realize that they need to make some changes to links, just like they did to pendulums, even though they really didn't need to change that much to pendulums. In my opinion. First and foremost, I feel like that extra linking should be a bit harder. You know, extra linking, I'm probably going to end up making a completely separate discussion video on it, but they can't just completely get rid of it like a lot of people want them to, because there are cards like Topologic Gumblar Dragon that specifically state extra linking in their card text. So unless they wanted to get rid of extra linking entirely, they would have to also go back and errata every single card that makes reference to extra linking to get rid of that. Likewise, I feel like that the extra monster zone should have been the Link monster zone. Instead of being for all extra monsters, it should have been just for links, and would have incentivized you to play links, because then, hey, you can summon a monster to the... And actually, that's how you fix extra linking too, okay? Make it to where the 2 extra monster zones are not the extra monster zones. They are Link monster zones. Only Link monsters can go into them, and while you could still summon Link monsters to non-Link zones, if you want to get extra bonuses, like being able to extra link, you know, have 7 monsters on the field, 6 monsters on the field, then you want to play Link monsters. But if you don't want to play Link monsters, or if you have a deck that can't play Link monsters without putting a heavy investment into them first, you can still summon your extra deck fusion monsters, synchro monsters, Xyz monsters, pendulum monsters, etc. to your main monster zone. That should have been how it was done. But Konami, I guess they were afraid that Links wouldn't take over, that Links wouldn't be popular. Look at pendulums. It took a long while for pendulums to become relevant. Same thing with Xyz. Can't say the same for synchros because I wasn't around in the early synchro days, but it took a long while for Xyz and pendulums to really kick off. And for Links, I guess they were afraid that wouldn't be the case, so that would be the case again, so they decided to also hinder all other summoning mechanics first. It just really bugs me how we went from every summoning mechanic being viable and playable, even on the most basic casual level, to Links being everything. Links. It's also my main issue with Vrains. Yes, I know rituals and fusions have made an appearance, and that also means more than likely synchros, Xyz, and so on and so forth will also make an appearance in Vrains, but it just really irritates me how we've gone back to just one summoning type. You know, it's like what Zexal was. For the longest time in Zexal form, in the Zexal era, it was Xyz only. Xyz only. I think there was a grand total of 2 synchros released in the main series sets throughout the entire Zexal era. Not counting the side sets, you know, like Hidden Arsenal and stuff, because, you know, then you get into stuff like the Ice Barriers and all that. But throughout most of it, there was only, what, that Daredevil dude in, like, the second or first set, who was a secret rare and TCG exclusive, and he was, like, really bad. And then I think there was one other synchro in Zexal era. I can't remember what it was, but, you know, there really wasn't many synchros in Zexal era released in the main series sets. And now we're going back to the same thing with Vrains. Yeah, sure, they're introducing archetypes that do use the other summoning mechanics, but not much, you know. Freaking Cybernetic Horizon, first time that we've gotten something that's not a Link monster in the main set that wasn't an OCG import, and it's 2 ritual monsters. Next set, we're getting 2 fusion monsters, you know, and also another ritual, but for Salaman grades. And then, yeah, sure, you get into side sets, you get all your other types of summoning, you get your Xyz, your synchros, and now we're even getting archetypes that focus on doing Links, and also whatever our particular summoning type that they like is. And that's all fine and dandy, but at the same time, I just feel like it's not enough. And especially with how Konami just has this tendency to forget that other archetypes exist. But I digress. What do you guys think about Links after a year in? I'm still not the biggest fan. I do like certain Link-focused archetypes, but I have more hatred for Master Rule 4 as a whole than the Link summoning mechanic as itself. Link summoning is cool and dandy, but I'm not a big fan of what Master Rule 4 did to promote and propagate Link summoning over all other summoning types. I don't know, that's just my thoughts and opinions, but what are your guys's? You know, please leave your comments down below in the comment section down there. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See y'all later. Peace out and goodbye.